Welcome back to another episode of
احنا السبعة في 20 دقيقة.
Our episode today is unlike any other. We are having not one, not two, but three mini debates throughout the podcast. Our topic today is surveys and observation as research methods. You might not see the debate in this topic, but believe me when I tell you, you will be amazed. معاكم عدنان عبد الحميد, the presenter of this show. Okay, now let's get into it. What is a survey? Well, I think everyone listening knows what a survey is and has probably taken one before. But let us say quickly and simply what a survey is. A survey is a set of questions given to a sample of a population in order to get a certain set of responses from the survey takers. What type of questions are usually in a survey? Well, they are usually questions about personal behavior, attitudes, awareness, and many more. But the real question is, are they effective? Do they really help the researcher get his or her answer? We now have Malak and Nader debating on the topic. Are surveys valuable? Do their advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Let's go.
To be honest, I feel like surveys are everything when it comes to market research. And the first thing is that it's easy to develop, to create a survey and everything. Nowadays with SurveyMonkey, with all the new and upcoming technology, surveys are very easy to develop.
But like when you customize a survey and you write the actual questions, there might be typos, errors, and different types of errors in the survey itself and in the way you ask the questions, which might actually result in answers from the respondents of the surveys that aren't what you actually need.
You have a point, but like with surveys, you're capable of collecting data from a large number of respondents. Like you don't only target, for example, 5 or 10 people that you meet. You conduct a survey with mass population of people.
I totally agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, the respondents you get may actually not provide you accurate or honest answers. So what does this mean? This means that you're actually just getting information that might mislead you into believing certain things that aren't really true. So your respondents are just answering the questions you have without really getting into it. So it's basically, in the end, it's misleading data.
To be honest, you have a point there. But we can also say it's also cost effective. So like survey doesn't really cost as much now with the free surveys now and all the technology helping us. So it's very cost effective with the amount of data you're getting in.
I honestly can't say anything to that point, but I still believe that surveys are not a reliable way to collect data.
But why?
Because I believe that the answers you get from the respondents are full of errors, and the questions you ask are also full of errors because you're asking the questions you ask might be close-ended. They might basically steer the respondent in a certain way, which is not something you control.
So I understand that some surveys can be a bit biased sometimes, but the best thing about surveys is they can be administrated remotely. So you can do it online from your phone, email, maybe a phone call. So it's easier to conduct, don't you think so?
I honestly agree, but at the same time, the whole point I'm trying to make you understand is that in the end, however easy and cost-effective a survey is, the responses from the survey itself might not be effective. They actually might harm you.
Okay, well, you do have a point there. But I just want to tell you one thing. Some surveys, if the questions aren't administrated properly, then surveys can get you some biased results and results that can drive your brand or business to a different direction. But I believe with the new survey softwares, they used advanced statistical techniques that can be utilized to analyze survey data and to determine the validity of and reliability of the data. So nowadays with these softwares, you can you can see the certain trends, you can see the specific way the consumer thinks, and from there you can find any anomalies in the process. Like if someone doesn't answer correctly, you can see the pattern. Don't you agree with my point, Malak?
I honestly don't have anything to say. You've had me defeated.
That was a very good debate, Malak, to be honest.
Thank you so much.
Like you made me think about the advantages and disadvantages, and made me just, are surveys really the key to market research? I think that's a question we'll let our fellow listeners answer.
Okay, aren't we all happy that's over? Who do you think won this debate? And by won, I mean who do you think made this point across? I think it's clear. Okay, so while you take your time to think about the answer to that question, we want to tell you just a little bit about different survey methods. Under survey, there are 4 different methods, and under those 4, there are more than 9 methods. We are going to show you the different methods in a small scenario, just so you can understand how it works in real life. So close your eyes and imagine it's you in this scene.
Jannah walks into the supermarket she visits once a week looking to get some ketchup. As soon as she reaches the ketchup aisle, she is greeted by a woman holding a clipboard and a pen.
Hello, can I ask you what you're looking for?
Oh, hi. I'm looking for Heinz ketchup.
Okay, this is where it is. Can you please fill the survey? We're asking Heinz Ketchup customers just a few questions so we can know more about our customers.
Jannah feels pressured to take the survey, even though she doesn't want to.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't mind taking it.
Okay, so here you go.
Jannah starts doing the survey, but with no real focus on the questions and filling in answers that have no meaning, because she was in such a hurry. Once she is done, she hands it over to the woman.
Here you go.
Thank you so much. Would you be interested in a follow-up interview if needed?
Yes, oh no, please no. I don't have time for all of that.
That's okay. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
Okay, so let's summarize what happened here. This is one method of personal methods that can be conducted, which is more intercept interviews. There are other methods like personal in-home interviews, which is basically getting interviewed in your home, and computer-assisted personal interviewing, which is the survey taker takes an interview on the computer.
Other methods of surveying are electric methods and mail methods. Electric methods are email interviews and internet interviews. Email interviews are basically surveys sent by email, while internet interviews are internet surveys that are posted on the website of the company. On the other hand, mail methods are more physical methods where the first type, mail interviews, are basically questionnaires are mailed to a set of people, and the second type is mail panels where a set of households agree to participate in a periodic mail questionnaire and product tests and are compensated for their efforts. We hope we're not boring you with all this information, but bear with us. The best is yet to come. Moving on to another method of surveys, the telephone method.
I can't believe this just happened.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Hello, who is this?
Hello, am I speaking to Muhammad Al-Qadi?
Yes, can I know who I'm speaking to?
ازاي حضرتك يا فندم? I'm Malak الشاعر from Service Company X, and I was wondering if you'd agree to a quick interview about your experience with us.
Yes, sure, as long as it's quick.
Yeah, of course, it won't take long.
2 hours later.
Okay يا فندم, we only have 9 more questions to go.
لا كده كتير قوي.
لا كنت تقولها لا.
Okay, so as you can already tell, this is only effective when it's a short, concise interview. There's also another type called the computer-assisted telephone interviewing, where the interview is computerized.
Besides survey methods, there are observation methods, which is basically recording the behavior patterns of people, objects, and events in a systematic manner. To gain information about their interest, there are certain characteristics of observation methods. ChocoBiko is looking to find out more about why their hazelnut chocolate spread isn't achieving the amount of sales as it was before. They hired a company to research the issue. 2 representatives of the company are having a fight over which method are the best. In this case, let's tune in to this fight.
Round 1. Let's start.
No, you have to understand that the best way to approach this is through structured observation. We have to do an inventory analysis to find out the problem, which I believe is the stock levels kept on hand in the supermarket. They're too low to satisfy the demand.
So you've made that decision yourself? You've identified the issue without actually doing any observation? I think the best way to approach this is through unstructured observation. We should monitor our shelf space for the hazelnut spread and see how our consumer interacts with our product through the video cams in the supermarket. This will actually show us the real reason why its sales are decreasing.
No, that's a bad idea. You'll have too much information and you won't know what to look for.
No, you're wrong. The whole idea is to actually find out what the issue is, so the structured observation method will be of no purpose here due to the fact that you're going in already knowing what you're measuring, which is not the case here.
Okay, you're starting to convince me.
Round 2. Let's go.
I honestly think that undisguised observation is the best way to approach this because I believe that it's unethical to observe our customers without them knowing.
Unethical? They know they're being watched when they enter any public space, so it's not unethical, and we should be adding a mystery shopper in the middle of customers, which will help us get a better insight.
You're convincing me just a little bit. Do you think maybe we should add a sign that says we're observing them?
No, that will make them more biased towards certain choices. Let's not do that.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Disguised observation it is.
And of course, it's a natural observation.
Yeah, I agree, since we're observing in the real supermarket setting, not in an artificial environment.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of what just happened. In this case, unstructured observation is used because they're looking for more qualitative data. And disguised observation is used in order to get more natural results. And lastly, natural observation because they'll be observing the customers in a natural environment. I hope you're not bored yet. Special thanks to our sponsor of this episode, ChocoBiko, who let us use their product to explain our ideas. Let's take a break and we'll be right back to you.
ياهو إذا كنت جعان ونفسك في شوكولاتة كل شوكو بيكو دي مية مية كلها وهي سادة أو جواها حاجة شوكولاتة طعمها ما حصلش هتسد جوعك شوكو بيكو أو تملى خدودك شوكو بيكو شوكو بيكو يم دي طعمها ما حصلش.
I want to give a special shout out to ChocoBiko and a huge thank you to them for their sponsorship and for letting us use their company and products as cases in our podcast. Jenna right now will be giving a group of people a case study that consists of two real scenarios from ChocoBiko. So let us listen in on what they'll be saying and the conclusions they reach.
I want you guys to listen to this case and tell me where personal observation is used and where mechanical observation is used. ChocoBiko is offering a new Oreo chocolate and are observing the interaction of their customers with the new chocolate in 2 different supermarkets. In Oscar, they have 2 company representatives present to observe what the customers are saying and how they're reacting towards the new Oreo chocolate, writing down everything that they hear and everything that they see. In Saudi, the company is using electronic scanners to measure how many times the product is picked up to measure the interest of their customers. Now tell me, which do you think is personal observation and which do you think is mechanical observation? I want you guys to take a few minutes to discuss this among you.
أنا حاسة
شايفة مثلا شايفة الثاني بس ميكانيكال برضه هما ممكن ميكس Okay, I want you guys to tell me your final answers, starting with Yusuf.
It's mechanical observation because they are using electronic scanners.
What do you think, Odi?
No, I think it's personal observation because there are actual company representatives present who are writing down information.
What about you, Farah?
I believe it's a mix of both.
Yes, Farah, you're actually right. The company ChocoBiko is optimizing both options to get the best results. In Oscar, they're using personal observation, and in Saudi, they're using mechanical observation.
Wow! Okay, so this podcast is coming to an end. The last thing we're doing today is the final debate. And the question is, Are observation methods more effective than survey methods or the opposite? Let's start the debate.
Malak, there's something I don't understand. How do you think observations are better than surveys? I really don't understand. Surveys are very simple to administer and they're very easy to interpret. The information is right in front of you. How is this even debatable?
I'm very sorry, but observations, when you're doing an observation, you're actually observing something that's happening in front of you. It's something that's happening in real life. So you're observing actual behavior. In surveys, you're actually forcing the person in front of you to act in a certain way.
But let me tell you something. Inti, when there's an observation, Inti بتشوفي إن people are often biased. Don't you agree?
No, this is actually not right, because you can actually do observations that are where the person you're observing doesn't know you're actually observing them. But in surveys, it's always going to be very direct. The person knows that they're taking the survey, so their answers might be biased, and they actually might be unable to answer what the question you're asking.
But don't you think that observational data is time consuming and very expensive? This requires manpower, this requires so much energy, time and effort. I feel like this money can be used in a business for something else. Maybe a CSR, corporate social responsibility.
I agree that it is time consuming, but and it's very costly to do, but it doesn't this doesn't actually go to nowhere. Use there are certain types of data that you can't actually get without observation. You can only get it with observation. And to add on to that, surveys, when you make surveys, you get very fixed responses that actually might lack certain feelings and beliefs, which is unlike what you have in observations, because and again, I'm saying this again, you're observing real life behavior.
But to be honest, I feel it's very unethical for someone to be observing me when I'm not realizing.
No, I'm very
sorry. Without my knowledge, without my consent, and someone to be observing me and taking notes of what I'm doing. This is invading my privacy, my personal space, and it's actually quite alarming.
I'm very sorry, but when you walk into a supermarket, and not just the supermarket, when you walk into any public space, you know you're being observed. There are cameras everywhere. No one's trying to hide the cameras. Why are you saying it's unethical for a person to actually use the footage that's being taken?
The cameras are there for my safety. The cameras are not there to observe me and to collect my data
Nader, you're straying away from the topic at hand.
Without my consent.
I'm very sorry. Nader, go back to what we're discussing.
Malak, if you don't feel like this is relevant to the case, this is your problem. But to be honest, I wouldn't like to walk into a supermarket and be observed and people collecting all my data while I never gave them consent and I never signed any papers to do that. So if that's the case, then I'm probably never going to enter that supermarket again.
I'm very sorry, but you just strayed away completely from the topic at hand. We're talking about whether surveys are better than observations.
Malak, this is a form of observation. If you don't want to admit to this, this is your problem. You have a weak argument and you're just trying to defend your argument by attacking me personally.
Nader, I'm very sorry, Nader.
Malak, I feel like we should cut this short because I think we're gonna get into some conflict.
Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Wow, what a debate, am I right? Okay, so we want to thank you so much, guys, for being such great listeners. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for weekly episodes and weekly debates of our show. Yeah, that's right. And we want to thank our sponsor again and again, ChocoBiko. Don't forget to try their chocolates. We leave you one more time with their very, very new jingle exclusive here. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
ياهو إذا كنت جعان ونفسك في شوكولاتة هنية خد لك شوكو بيكو دي 100 100 كلها وهي سادة أو جواها حاجة شوكولاتة طعمها ما حصلش هتسد جوعك شوكو بيكو أو تملى خدودك شوكو بيكو شوكو بيكو يام يام دي طعمها ما حصلش